Have you ever received a letter from the IRS that made your heart skip a beat? Well, you're not alone. One of the most common notices the IRS sends out is the CP59 notice. But what exactly is it, and what should you do if you get one? Simply put, a CP59 notice means the IRS has no record of you filing a tax return for a particular year. It's their way of saying, hey, we were expecting to hear from you, but we haven't yet. Now, before you panic, it's important to know that there are a few different types of these notices. There's the CP59, which is for a prior year's tax return. Then there's the CP59R, which is a reminder to file before the due date, and the CP59SN, which is for the current year's tax return. So, what should you do if you find a CP59 notice in your mailbox? The most important thing is to not ignore it. The IRS has a very clear process for you to follow. First, if you were supposed to file a tax return for that year, you need to do it right away. The notice will tell you which year the IRS is asking about. If you believe you weren't required to file a tax return for that year, you need to let the IRS know. The CP59 notice comes with a form called Form 15103. You can use this form to explain your situation. And if you've already filed your tax return, you should still respond to the notice. It's possible your return got lost in the mail or there was a processing error. Just fill out Form 15103, let them know you've already filed, and send it back. Now, you might be wondering what happens if you just ignore the notice. Well, the consequences can be pretty serious. The IRS can charge you a failure to file penalty, which is 5% of the unpaid tax for each month the return is late, up to a maximum of 25%. If you continue to not respond, the IRS can create what's called a substitute for return. This is where they calculate your tax liability for you, based on the information they have from your employers and financial institutions. The problem is, they'll use a filing status that might result in you owing more tax than you actually do. And on top of all that, the IRS can also start backup withholding. This means they can tell your bank and other payers to withhold 24% of your future income. Recently, the IRS has been paying special attention to high-income individuals who haven't filed their tax returns. So, if you fall into that category, it's especially important to take any notice from the IRS very seriously. So, to sum it all up, if you get a CP59 notice, don't panic, but don't ignore it. Read the notice carefully, figure out why you received it, and respond as quickly as possible. If you're not sure what to do, it's always a good idea to talk to a tax professional. To learn more about how to handle your IRS issues, look in the description for the link to watch the free video, The Ultimate Guide to Solving Your IRS Tax Problems.